What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Kirk the Creator, and today I want to talk on topic number three. Topic number three, which is AI versus the human touch. A couple of my clients brought this to my attention where it's like they were asking me, what do I have any fears about, AI and robots that's coming into the industry? Um, and I was like, anything's possible. And I don't have a fear because one thing I do know is that it was proven during COVID, right? We desire human interaction and we desire human touch. That's just who we are, regardless of what comes out. Any robotics, humanoids, or androids, or whatever you want to call them, come out to try to take over everything that the humans do. So today, my topic is going to be called AI versus the human touch. And do I think that AI could eventually replace me or cut better? So as we get into this video today, we're gonna have a little conversation, break that down, see what we come up with, and take it from there. Roll the intro. As I was saying earlier, AI is trying to take over, right? In 2026, AI can book your appointments, it can write your captions, it can even analyze your clients and analyze, scalp health. But machines will never master the art of human touch. Humanity has been the most prestige, the most sought after, the most desired um, form of life, point blank, regardless of AI, regardless of technology, regardless of anything that's ever been made, right? Even over animals. And I know animal lovers would try to kill me over that, but that's okay. The truth is the truth. And you're going to learn today that human life is way more valuable and more honorable, more desired, more loved than anything else in the world, regardless. Animals are second, of course. Um, but the question was asked, do I fear that AI will take over my job or our jobs as barbers and stylists, right? And that gave me a little thought, right? I was like, well, you might be onto something. They have strategically created, certain things in technology to better our lives, right? Um, let's say you walk into a AI shop or a AI machine and you stick your head in the machine or over top of your head, or there's a robot that's standing by, flicking a wrist. Um, how would that feel to you? Do you think that you that would feel kind of cold, removing the aspect of the conversations that we have in the barbershop, the human touch that we have in the barbershop and salon, um, the opportunity to, let's say, negotiate, right? Because right now, of course, it can get better. Obviously, it's models that's out there that's learning how to, the art of um, understanding the human mind more so to where they can negotiate, they can have empathy, sympathy, and all these other great things that's happening within the space of AI. And I know it's easier to say it now than anything else, but the truth of the matter is, I enjoy arguing with, my friends, my spouse, my children, with clients, and I'm not talking about arguing in the sense that you're speaking of or thinking of. I'm talking about arguing in the sense of debating, for lack of, let me use that word, debating, right? With all those groups of people, friends, family, spouse, children, clients, strangers. Um, there's nothing like it because it allows you to see a perspective, within the emotion of the person, within the response of the person, and how people calculate things and how they come up with a result, right? So in long terms, right? It would be convenient to have a robot AI to service you. If you become like a robot, you're just cold, or introverts could benefit from this, maybe. That's just me thinking out loud. But I think AI could never fully take the space of a human when it comes to these types of services, when it comes to hospitality. Granted, the robot will allow you to not have to deal with sarcasm or rudeness or um, discrimination, right? Robots don't understand that outside of what they're programmed to understand, right? Um, those things are convenient when it comes to like booking a trip, when it comes to getting your car clean. You drive through a robot machine to get your car clean. But at the end of that, right? Well, matter of fact, at the beginning of that, somebody takes your money. Or, of course, I know they have the ones where you can just pay with the card. But it's always being guided by or supervised by a human, just to make sure if you have any problems, and if the machine's not working, or you need change or anything, right? So a human is always needed somewhere in that process, whether it's the beginning, during, or after. Even let's say at Autobell, for those that have Autobell. Autobell is a car wash, right? You go through, the first thing you do is you're getting greeted by a human. Or if they're busy, you use your monthly pass to where you have unlimited washes or whatever the case may be. And you go through that, and then you go through the machine, and at the end, you can pull off because you don't want the hand wipe down. Um, or you can again interact with another human that wipes it down, put tire shine on there for you, um, wipe your door jars, and just all these things, right? So they give you the choice of fully automated or some human interaction. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, somebody's getting their car wiped down. It's nothing like getting your car wiped down with microfiber cloth. And it's just that experience of you feeling that luxury feel of sitting in the car while somebody else is serving you. That interaction, and then being able to tip them, or seeing these young kids out here that's at Autobell, that's, working hard in the sun, sometimes in the cold, sometimes in the rain. And you just have that empathy and that warmness in your heart to, leave them a tip because they did a good job. You want to reward them, right? You can't reward a robot. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and they have no soul. So I went that far just to say, in the haircutting industry or the beauty industry, um, that sense of compliment, that sense of community that I spoke about in my second video. Community is so important. I mean, again, I'll refer back to COVID, right? When everything shut down, people were starving and craving for community. That's why all these social media platforms blew up, took off. People were getting angry because they can't go outside, they can't walk, they can't go to parties, they can't see their loved ones because they're afraid of, spreading the virus, or that interaction. FaceTime was great, right? Social media was amazing, but that's because the crave for human touch was in an uproar. It was like, I want humans. We were all freaking out, right? Then when it was over, everybody started traveling. Everybody started just respecting each other more. Of course, we're back to normal again, but it just showed you how important, no matter what happens with AI, you are okay. You're going to be okay. The tedious jobs like manufactured jobs where, it's just a matter of lifting here, putting here, labeling, and quality checking, still need quality checkers, right? To make sure that this is exactly what it's supposed to be. Now, can AI eventually learn what quality? Of course, that's a simple task, right? It's just you saying, okay, 1 + 1 = 2. This is 2. Move it over here. If it's not 2 and it's 3 or 1.5, then move it over here. I mean, that's a simple task. Not to disrespect my factory workers, I'm just showing you how that the difference between um, the service industry versus the serving industry is two different things. We're in the serving industry, not the service industry, even though we're told that we're in the service industry, we're in the serving. We serve our community, we serve our clients, we serve um, our families, right? I think the hospitals and the nurses and the doctors and the firefighters and the police and the military, they're in the serving side of the spectrum versus a service. They provide a service, but they're serving the people, right? So here's another reason why I know that we are going to be okay in the servicing um, spectrum of AI, right? Think about what a barber or a salon um, specialist or professional is, right? We're therapists, right? We're part brotherhood, we're part sisterhood, right? We're part artists. You know, we create things for people. We help them to feel, look, and present themselves in the best way possible, right? AI can't feel the tension, you know, in a client's shoulder. It can't feel the tension that's in a, you know, when you're giving those massage, like a massage therapist, or as a barber, when we give those effleurage massages or those tap massages or any type of facials, they can't feel, they don't have sensories to know that, you know, this is too much pressure for this specific person, right? They'll have a general consensus of what holding like an egg without cracking it, but an egg is not a human. That's not skin. That's a hard shell, right? So man needs and woman need, let's say mankind needs like interactions. We don't need silence, right? We don't need um, people that are standoffish or people that look away from things that, you know, we're expressing, right? We're conversational. We love deep conversations. We love deep debates. We love you know, laughing, sharing new movies. We can't say to a AI or to robot, hey, have you seen this movie, and get that genuine, you know, that genuine answer where it's like it just brightens up your day. Like, oh man, yeah, I seen it. You see the part where this, or have you finished this episode, or this series, or this, that, and the third, and you get this dopamine of anxiety, of just happiness. You're just super ecstatic that somebody else is sharing that moment or that show or that feeling or that experience with you on a day-to-day basis, right? You wait for that follow-up, your next service appointment to dive into where you are and what happened. Oh man, I can't believe, did you see what happened? Da, da, da. Listen, I'm smiling just saying that because I just know how important it is for us to be together, right? No man is an island, right? We need each other. We need each other. Now, so you know, AI is making everything, you know, it's making it easier, you know, convenient and perfect and automated and in its own right, right? But a human touch, you can almost, I'm predicting in the future, a human experience, a human touch is going to be luxury. It's going to be premium. It's going to say, um, you could set an appointment, right? Whatever service it may be that AI has or humanoids have taken over. And you'll have your level one service, your level two service, or your level three service. Your level one service would be, you know, the appointment or the greeting or checking in or, you know, being brought a coffee, bringing brought coffee to you or a drink or water or whatever the case may be to you at your appointment, right? That's level one service. Level two service could be a humanoid giving you the haircut that you need or desire or whatever the case may be. And then level three, we know what level three is, right? Level three is that humanistic, human touch, that human love, that conversation, that I'm not in a rush. I'm here to, you know, free my mind and get away and reconnect back to people, to my service provider, to my community. That's going to be called a luxury service to be dealt with by a human being. That is going to be the plateau. That's going to be amazing. So if you think that you're going to start losing business because, humanoids are taking over and blah, 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 think about the fact that there are going to be some people to this day that still desire that human touch. Perfect example. There's electric cars coming out, right? Not only are electric cars coming out, they have hit their plateau. So they're not like booming and taking over, petrol cars or combusted engine cars or SUVs or whatever. They have plateaued already, right? There's a group of people, a small group. I think I want to say 7 to 12% of people that's buying electric vehicles, right? That just desire never to stop at the gas station, never to get service again, never to worry about, anything when it comes to the normal, combustion engine problems like transmission, blown head gasket, and all this and all that, right? The only thing they have to worry about is tires, wiper blades, and software update. That's it, right? I own a Tesla, so trust me, I feel it. But I also miss sometimes, very slightly, getting my car serviced, right? Getting that fresh tune up. The car feels so much better after 3-4 years, and you get a fresh tune up, everything just settles back down. And you know what I mean? And you go through that whole experience of, even when you wash your car, it just feels like it runs better, right? Because it got that human touch, right? It got serviced, right? But there's majority of the world, 80% per se, that still prefer a gas guzzling vehicle. They do. So that right there is the first step in evidence of why I know that the human touch is going to become luxury. We can sell that in the future as a premium package. I can only imagine now seeing commercials where it's like, come in today, book your appointment, and get serviced by a human. What? Now you're talking about $150 to $250 haircut. Standard. Not what it is now, right? You getting from your 30 to 60 or 70 or 100 or 150, right? Now imagine in the future when you can sell yourself for $250+ as a luxury service. That's crazy. But that's what it's going to be. That's how I feel that AI is going to help us get to that next financial level, is to sell our service as premium services as a human versus a humanoid. That's something to think about. Even when it comes to marketing, imagine marketing the untouchable, right? The fact that you can market yourself as a real person giving real service to a real human. When I say that thought took my mind to a whole nother level, like, what? We'll be selling ourselves like iPhones, right? We're the iPhone, let's say 100 Pro Max, right? That's who we're going to be for AI. So don't think AI is the end all be all. And AI is carving out a space for humans to have more value and to be respected and cherished a lot more. I'm going to go back even further real quick. You remember when everybody went to automated services when it comes to phones, right? You call 1-800 blah, blah, blah. Press 1 to do this. Press 2 to do that. Hey, I'm Allie, and you can speak to me just like you would make a normal phone call and speak to a normal human. Hey, Allie, can you tell me what happened on the football game yesterday? I'm sorry, I don't understand see what I mean? And what was the first thing that we asked for? Man, I want to speak to a human. I want to push 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 until we get to a human being. Even when it came to, and no disrespect to foreigners, because I'm a foreigner myself, but when it came down to people marketing their company as an American speaking company, you know what I mean? It even went down to there where it's like, we don't want to speak to somebody from Thailand or somebody from the Philippines or somebody from, anywhere. We want to speak to an American. We get a proud, even overseas, when they want to speak to their people, you know what I'm saying, versus an American, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's a reminder to me that we have nothing to worry about. If we stay the course, we have nothing to worry about. To get a human to cut your hair or do your hair or give you service is going to be luxury to me. This is my prediction in the future, luxury, and I cannot wait. I think if we respect it now and we stand firm on it now, there won't be a need for us to even fight for it later. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's give what we have now. Let's be the future now. Let's show the luxury of dealing with us now so we don't lose value for people to have to retrain themselves that, oh yeah, man, I wish I had a human. No, that's what we should be at now, to where we dominate the thought process of people entering into our industry. Not necessarily getting rid of AI, because it's good. For what it is good for, it is good. But if we stay the course, stand on 10 toes, and let people know that the human experience is the only experience when it comes to our services, we win. So in closing, let's use AI for the boring stuff, creating text, sending emails, the everyday tedious things, right? Doing our taxes, booking our appointments, keeping our books in order, right? And let's spend more energy in the art and the relationship that we have with our clients. Let's take that time to do so, right? So in final words, I want to, the more high tech the world gets, it's the more high touch that we should be in this field, in this genre, in all that we do. It's Kirk the Creator, Clipper Connect. I'm out of here. Hopefully y'all like this video. Like, subscribe, share, do the normal. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Number 4 is coming out. Peace.